Welcome to Words on the Outside with Laura Bynum. This reading from Disintegration, a wartime space opera piece of science fiction set in the habitable portion of our galaxy, is provided by author Steve Soldwedel. Picking up in Chapter 9, Karina is taking a break from the action to talk to her bartender about life back on Earth.
"Be still, my beating heart," said Robert the bartender, the ever-charming and devastatingly beautiful Karina Duvais, "even with that blood on your face." "Save your charms for a woman," Karina replied, her voice just below a yell, to be heard over the din. "May the lady one day recognize her own confusion," Robert said, winking. "Doubtful," Karina smiled. "Are you okay?" he asked, waving his finger at the smear of gore. "It's not mine. I was accosted on the way here. Give me a wet rag, a clean one." He handed her a towel. "So what else can I get for my favorite customer?" She wiped the blood from her face and then patted the damp rag against her jacket sleeves, the blood stains invisible upon the leather but for their shine. Robert proffered a cigarette. She waved it away. He shrugged, put one to his lips, and lit it. "Something hard. Don't," she warned, cutting off the sexual taunt that lingered on the tip of his tongue. "A Scotch, neat, a good one." Robert frowned. He turned to tend to her drink. "I should have known better," he admitted, setting the glass down. "You're still off men." "I'll never be on men, Robert. It's not a phase." She pronounced his name in the French way. She took a sip of her drink and smirked. "Funny they still call it Scotch. I mean, it's good, but it doesn't seem right when they import the water, the grain, the peat, everything from Venus." Robert shrugged. "They still make it in Scotland. I guess that's what counts." Karina took another sip and shrugged. "So," he asked, "what news from outside?" "There are 3 fewer men in the world by my hand, but if you really want to know, you should go out there and take a look." He shook his head. "Oh, no, I prefer to live." "Work exciting?" "You know I don't talk about work," she looked him in the eye. "Do people really come here for the bullshit, Robert? Do they enjoy the empty, idle conversation?" Robert crossed his arms over his chest. "Most people do. Most people are idiots." His face tensed awkwardly as if he couldn't decide whether to smile or frown. "What?" she spat. "You're a hard person to talk to, Karina. I don't know why you come around when you've got such contempt. Is it all for me? Grow a dick, mon ami. I've got something you want. You've got things I want." She jerked the thumb at the bag on her back. He walked away to tend to other customers, all of them men. Karina twisted her mouth in distaste and drank. When he came back, her glass was empty but for one sip. "You're almost all right, Robert. You pour good drinks, and I need to finish this one. If you don't want it, Karina, just leave. That one sip isn't holding you prisoner." She scoffed. "We're all prisoners." "Speak for yourself." "Right. No, not you. I forgot. You," she pointed, "are a jailer." She drained her glass. "You done?" he asked. "No." She tapped the bar with her index and middle finger. He refilled her glass. She took a sip and shrugged. "Look, I'm tired of eating shit back at the base. I need a steak, vegetables, fruit, food. Actual food. And I should provide these things to you because you're so nice to me?" She shook her head. Then she gently shook herself. The metal in her bag jingled. She lifted her eyebrows at him. "How much did you bring?" 22 pounds of steel. As the sentry had informed her, what she inferred to be the 10 pounds she set aside for a rainy day had only been 8. "In that case, follow me," he said, and they walked with the bar between them toward the back to where a large, dark-skinned man guarded a closed door. Robert smiled and nodded at his guard, who stood aside and slid open the heavy wooden door. Inside the private room, a seasoned, elderly man awaited orders. He had a kind face. His mustache matched his salt and pepper hair. "Hassim, put on a steak for Lieutenant Duvais. Give her the full complement of vegetables, too, and a starch of some kind. And please, bring out a bowl of fruit." "Medium rare, please, Hassim," she asked. She and Robert sat down at a large table of heavy wood alone in the private dining room but for Hassim, who hurried into the kitchen. "Hassim makes a mean steak. I'd love for it to be a fresh kill. With no cows on this planet, you kind of have to take what you can get." "Robert, they feed me literal shit at the base. I don't care if some cow was killed and frozen a year ago or if it floated through space on its own from Venus to your freezer. I'm tired of eating recycled human shit and drinking purified piss. You're still better off than most everyone else. Most people out there with no steel or lead don't even have recycled shit to eat. And you can't eat it straight from the ass, so look at it that way. You do okay. I hustle."